Kshetra Kshetrajna Yoga. This is a very interesting chapter. Somewhat difficult in the beginning, we have to struggle with it, with the terminology, but once you get past the terminology, then the concepts make a lot of sense. Very, very simple. In a nutshell, what this chapter, Kshetra Kshetrajna Vibhaga Yoga, disregard the word Kshetra Kshetrajna. Don't worry about them for the time being. Just take the idea presented by Sri Krishna in this chapter. First of all, he says that this whole universe, in this whole universe, whatever you take, any object you take, smallest to the biggest, including living beings and non-living beings, moving and not moving things. Whatever you take, anything without any exception, any object you take in this universe, it has two parts in it. It may appear to be just one, but it has two parts in it. One part is visible, a solid object, solid or liquid, gas, whatever. Visible part is there. But that visible part does not exhaust the object. There is some other hidden part in every object. That hidden part is what we don't see. It's not visible to the sense organs. We can't see it with our eyes, we can't touch it with our hands. The physical part we can touch. All the five sense organs can feel. I can see, I can touch, I can hear, I can taste, I can smell. Anything. But besides the physical, material, visible part, there is a subtle hidden part. Every object. That is one idea. You can say, we don't see it, how do we know it is there? We will come to the logic later on. Just conclusions we understand. That is the one idea presented in this chapter. The second most startling idea presented in this chapter is that while the physical objects are all different, person to person, body to body, this chair is different from that chair, this is different from that. Physically they are all separate, disparate, not connected. But if you go to the hidden spiritual part, they are all the same. The spiritual part in all the objects, regardless of the nature of the object, is one and the same, singular. Physical parts, they have to be different. Otherwise, how do you tell the one body from other body unless they are different? They are different. Physically. Spiritually, they are all one, united at the spiritual level. These two or three ideas, if you understand, rest of the chapter becomes easy to understand. So we go to some key shlokas which present the basic ideas, and rest of it is explanation. Now the words are a little bit confusing. Kshetra, Kshetrajna. Why he used them, there is some reason. Commentators have given some explanation. Why not use familiar terms? You already know familiar terms. But for a specific reason, Sri Krishna uses the term Kshetra, Kshetrajna. Kshetra means the physical part, visible part. Kshetrajna means the invisible spiritual part. You are all made up of two parts. If you take this personality which you are saying, what you are saying is the physical part. My body you are seeing. The clothes I am wearing, the glass I am wearing, the speech I am making, you can hear what I am saying, you can touch me, you can smell, all those things. Five sense organs. That's physical part. That's different from every other body. But besides what you see from the outside, hidden behind the physical part is a spiritual part in me. That spiritual part is called Kshetrajna. The physical part is called kshetra. The reason I will explain in a moment. Now the startling statement which we have to take into consideration, spend a lot of time reflecting is, while the kshetra is separate from person to person, everybody's body is different. But if you go to the spiritual part within me is same as spiritual part in all of you and everybody else. Spiritually we are one. Physically we have to be different. We have to be different people. Our bodies have to be different. But if you go deeper into our personality and look into the indwelling spirit, that indwelling spirit is one and the same in all. And that is the Paramatma, that is the Supreme Being. He is present in all. So these are 3-4 ideas. Now come to the terminology, which may be confusing, but if you become familiar with it, it will be easy to understand. To indicate the physical part, physical body, he uses the word kshetra. Why does he use the word kshetra? There is a reason for that. What does the word kshetra mean, literally? Field. In Hindi it becomes khet. Kshetra in Sanskrit becomes khet in Hindi. Kheti badi karna, to agriculture, farming. That kshetra. Why this is called kshetra? Why not call it body, which you are familiar with that word. Instead of using a familiar word, he chooses to use an unfamiliar word, new word, which has not come earlier in the 12 chapters. Why did he do that? You can ask. There is an explanation for that. This body is called the kshetra or field, similar to a farmer's farm. A farmer has a patch of land. In this country, the farmers have large patches of land. 1,000 acres is not uncommon for a farmer to have such a huge, because they are machines and for agriculture, this is different. In India, small plots. A small farmer maybe has only 2 acres that he inherited from his father. And if 2 brothers, they will divide 1 acre each. That becomes, from generation to generation, becomes smaller and smaller. Small patches of land. Bigger, small. What does the farmer do in the farm? He does the farming. Farming means what? He sows the seed, prepares the land, sows the seed, and then what happens? Hopes for the rain to come, or uses irrigation, agriculture, irrigation, water supply. Then what happens after the seed after some time? This seed sprouts, becomes a sapling plant, and then what does it do? What does the plant do? Bears fruit. Different kinds of fruits. Now that is a farm. That's why it's called a farm. Kshetra means that. A place where seeds are sown and crops are harvested. Now if you think a little bit, that is precisely what we do in this body. That's why it's called the field. What are the seeds we sow into this body? All our actions. Just like a seed produces a fruit after some time, some interval, all the karma we do produces a fruit. What I do comes back to me. What kind of fruit I get depends upon what kind of seed I sow. Right? If you put coriander seed, you get coriander leaves. If you put chili seed, you get chili fruit. Whatever work I do in the body, the same kind of result I will get. If I do good deeds, I get good result. If I do bad deeds, then I will get bad result. So in this way, the body is similar to a field where all the actions are done. Or where does the action happen? Where is the locus of all action? Everything happens in the body. Body includes the mind. In Vedanta, body includes the mind unless it is separately specified. So I do all my actions in the body and mind. Thinking is one kind of action. If I think pure thoughts, good thoughts, my mind will become pure and calm and I will be peaceful. If I think bad thoughts of anger, hatred, jealousy and worse thoughts, what happens? My mind becomes polluted, shows up in the body as disease. My personality becomes bad. So thinking is action. We do three kinds of action in this body. This thinking action, mind is the instrument. The body has many parts, it's not one thing, there's so many different parts. He'll list those parts later. Then what the second kind of action we do besides thinking?
Speech.
We speak. Walk. What means speech? Ideally, speech should follow thinking, but sometimes the opposite happens. then that's human problem. We should think and then see what we have to say. Sometimes we say and then we may or may not even think afterwards. If I say bad words, what happens? Bad result will come. If I use harsh words, to you, you'll also use harsh words to me. I can't expect to receive good, kind treatment if I use harsh words. So, words also produce effect, result. My thinking produces effect in my mind and body. My harsh words or words, good or bad, they produce good or bad results. Where is the result felt? In the body and the mind. What is the third kind of action we do? Bodily actions with hands and feet and other organs. They also are done in the body, using some part of the body or several parts of the body, like eating, etc. And then the result is felt. If I eat good food, the body will be in good condition. If I eat bad food, lot of sugar, lot of pizza and chocolate cake and cream cheese and all those cheesecake and everything every day, what happens? Body becomes sick. So whatever food I eat, the result is felt in the body and mind. If your body becomes sick, mind also becomes unhappy, or vice versa. If my speech is good or bad, that will show up in my body as good or bad result. If my thinking is good or bad, depending upon what kind of thinking, my body and mind will also suffer or enjoy good or bad foods. So what happens in a field, in a farmer's field, something very similar happens in the body and the mind. Therefore, we can say Sri Krishna calls the body and mind the field. Kshetra means the field. That is clear. That's the explanation given in the commentary. So it is his choice to use the word, so we have to accept that. His choice. We can't change the text to something that I like. Whatever is there, we have to study that. It makes sense also to some extent. So body is called, the body includes all the different parts. Body includes the mind, subtle body. Mind is called the subtle body. This is the gross body, and the gross body has many different parts. Hands and feet, eyes, ear, etc. How many parts, how many indriyas we have?
11.
Exclude the mind. 10 different sense organs. You know them, we don't have to list. 5 sense organs of perception, jnanendriyas. 5 sense organs of action, motor organs, through which we do various kinds of actions. 10 sense organs. Now, while defining the kshetra field, actually Sri Krishna lists those organs, parts of the body. We will come to the details later. Just take the general, broad ideas. Details will fill in later, easy. Now the second part, why is it called kshetrajna? When you see a word ending in the syllable jna, jna means jnana, knowing. Jna means to know. Jna means to know. Kshetrajna means the knowing part of my personality, the conscious part of my personality. The body has 2 parts, a physical part which is material in nature. It's subject to, it perishes. After some time it deteriorates and then it ceases to function altogether. We know that. Whether it is good or bad, that depends on the person. Sometimes people want to live longer, hoping that long life translates into more happiness. A stage may come in some people's lives where they don't want to live. They want this whole thing to end. Anyway, that's a different matter. But the knowing principle is within us. There is a knowing principle which cannot be seen. You cannot see my consciousness. But you can see I am conscious. You know I am conscious, right? At least I am conscious right now. Whether it makes sense or not, I am conscious. How do you know that I am conscious? So consciousness cannot be seen, but its effect, its presence can be inferred by the appearance and activity of the body. So the presence of the unseen spiritual part has to be inferred. You cannot see it directly. You cannot see it directly with your eyes. It is not material. If it's something material, you can see with your eyes and touch with your hand, etc. If it's something spiritual, then it is beyond the domain of the sense organs. Hand cannot touch it, eyes cannot see it, nose cannot smell it, ears cannot hear it. But you know consciousness is there in me. You know that you are conscious now. Every one of you knows you are conscious now. How do you know? Because you are conscious. Consciousness is knowing. Knowing means consciousness. There is a knowing principle within us. Now that is the second part. That can be accepted without much debate. Do we have consciousness? Yes, we have consciousness. Animals also have consciousness. Trees also have a consciousness. Not to the same extent as we have, but scientific studies have shown that there is consciousness in plants also. Who was the great scientist who showed that one? Sir J.C. Bose? Yes. He did experiments to prove that plants also have feelings and consciousness. They may not be able to express the same way we are able to express, or if they do express, we don't know their language. Birds have consciousness. Elephants and other animals have consciousness. All have consciousness. What about inanimate objects like this chair or table? They also have consciousness, but to a much less extent, and they don't have the hardware mechanism to express their feelings or thoughts. Vedanta says the same consciousness pervades the whole universe, enveloping and pervading all objects, living or not living, moving or unmoving. So, let us go to one verse in the 13th chapter. These are the basic ideas. Not difficult. Not difficult. We'll go to verse number 26, which only tells us what we already described in ordinary language. Which only tells us what we have already described. Now, before we conclude our class today, we want to examine why this topic is important at all. Why should I bother about consciousness or not? Nobody has seen consciousness. If it is there, it is there. So what? What does it mean to my daily life? How does it affect my daily life? Does it have any impact on my daily life? Do you still have to go to work and struggle with co-workers and come back to family? So does it make any difference? Yes, it does. You will examine the impact or implication of this knowledge that there is consciousness in everything and everyone, same consciousness pervading all, on our daily life. That will be the second part. If we have time, we'll do it today. Okay, now we go to verse number 26 in chapter 30. Let us chant. Yavat sanjayate kinchit
Yavat sanjayate kinchit
Sattvam sthavara jangamam Kshetra kshetrajna samyogat Tadviddhi bharatarshava Yavat sanjayate kinchit Sattvam sthavara jangamam Kshetra kshetrajna samyogat Tadviddhi bharatarshava Union of Kshetra Kshetrajna. Physical and spiritual part. Combination is what we all are, everybody is. That applies to all objects. Sacharacharam. What does it say? Yavat Sutam Stavara Jangamam. Stavara means objects that stay put, not moving, like buildings and mountain. They don't move. Relative to earth. Earth itself appears to be stable, but earth is moving, everything is moving. If you take the whole universe, everything is moving. Nothing is really stable in space. The earth is moving around on its own axis and around the sun. And other planets are moving around the sun in the solar system. The whole solar system is moving in the galaxy, and the whole galaxy is moving someplace. So there's nothing really stable. Everything is moving. But relative to one platform, things on this earth are stable. Trees are not moving, fortunately. Houses are not moving. That is good. Relative to earth. But if you take the whole earth, everything is moving. Anyway, that's a different part. Sattvam is object. Sthavara Jangamam. Unmoving. Jangamam is moving. Gam gacchati, moving. Kshetra Kshetrajna Samyogat. Samyoga. Samyoga means combination or union. Union of physical part and spiritual part. Brahman is the Kshetra Kshetrajna Samyogat. Tadvidhi, know that. That means this idea, this principle. Vidya means know. Bharatashyaba, Arjuna. Yavat sanjayate kinchit sattvam sthavara jangamam kshetra kshetrajna samyoga tadvidhi bharatarshava. Very important principle. Now you have to think about it and try to understand the implications of this. Everything, living, not living, moving, not moving. Animals, plants, trees, objects, inanimate objects. This building, this door, this murti there, everything, all of us, good people, bad people, everybody, male, female, children, adults, all nationalities, everybody. Now that is one idea. Firmly keep it in mind. In everyone, in everything, there is consciousness. Okay? That is understood. Any questions so far? Before you go to the second part of this idea. Now we go to the second verse of 13th chapter. I'm not doing it in order, but I'm taking the ideas. The second verse has a very long commentary. 13, 14 pages of Shankara's commentary. The second verse has so important in the whole of the Gita. So let us chant verse number 2 in chapter 13. Kshetrajñam chapi mam vidhi.
Kshetrajñam chapi mam vidhi.
Sarva kshetreshu bharata.
Sarva kshetreshu bharata.
Kshetra kshetrajña yor jnanam.
Kshetra kshetrajña yor jnanam.
Yatta jnanam matam mama.
Yatta jnanam matam mama.
Kshetrajñam chapi mam vidhi.
Kshetrajñam chapi mam vidhi.
Sarva kshetreshu bharata.
Sarva kshetreshu bharata.
Kshetra kshetrajña yor jnanam.
Kshetra kshetrajña yor jnanam.
Yatta jnanam matam mama.
Yatta jnanam matam mama.
The second line says, Kshetra kshetrajñayoho jnanam. Jnana means knowledge. Knowledge of kshetra kshetrajña. That both these are present in all the beings, all the bodies. Everything, including animals, plants, inanimate objects. And bigger objects like the stars, sun and other stars and other planets, whatever is there in the universe. And small objects like every atom, in every atom, every molecule, every cell, everybody. Who is that Kshetrajña? First line. Second verse. Sarva kshetreshu, in all the bodies, just take this room. Then we'll extend it to other. So many, about 40 people are there in this room right now. In all these bodies, they're all different, right? Everybody is different. Who is the Kshetrajna? Who is that one? No, go to the verse. Kshetrajnam.
Me.
Mam. Note the word mam. That is the key word. One simple word. Mam. Mam sarva kshetreshu, in all the bodies. Mam kshetrajnam vidhi. Know me to be the indwelling spirit. Who is saying that one? Bhagavan Sri Krishna is saying. Bhagavan Sri Krishna, not Krishna as a personality, but the supreme reality which he represents. He is a human representation, avatara of divinity, divine, Paramatma. The same spiritual principle is vibrating, pulsating in all the beings regardless of difference. No fine print there, except in men it is a little bit more, in Swamis it is a little bit even more, and women it is a bit less. Now there is no such fine print, and all equally. That equally also will come in the next sloka, which I am going to point out. Nobody should think that the Bhagavan is present more in me because I am something so and so. That consciousness present less in me because you are so and so. No distinction in Vedanta, from person to person, from being to being. All are sick. So the most important conclusion of Vedanta is that the same conscious principle pervades all beings, Mom, and that conscious principle is the Lord Himself. He is present in all the beings. Now you can begin to see the implication of this, His presence. He is present in you. He is present in her. He is present in me. He is present in that unknown person. Not known to us. He is present in some person, in all the people in China, in Japan, in Russia, in India. Even he is present in the jihadists. But what is wrong? God is present, why do they kill other people? The kshetra part is wrong. Mind, which includes, the mind is not able to adharmam dharmamitya manyate tamasavritam. Tamasic pravritti means, what is adharma, they interpret to be dharma. According to if you ask me, dharma, adharma, what is the distinction? I say, creating harm to somebody is adharma, treating everybody kindly is dharma. That's my understanding, right? I think it is the right understanding. But if you ask that jihadist person, he will say, killing somebody is the right thing to do. Harming somebody, destroying property is the right thing to do. What I think adharma, he thinks it is their dharma. In the name of God I am doing. It is the right thing to do, he says. So, how to decide whether he is right or I am right? You can see the implications of the action. My action, treating everybody nicely, kindly, being gentle to everybody, creates all-round happiness. No himsa is there, no pain is there. There is no pain if I treat everybody nicely, kindly, say nice words to everybody, even if you don't agree with their feelings, their opinions, you still can be nice to them. Simply because you don't agree with somebody's opinion, you don't go and beat up that person, you say, we agree to disagree. Your opinion is like that, my opinion is like this, sorry, it doesn't match, but you are okay. He also has a right to live. But they don't like that. If you don't like my idea of God and religion, you have no right to exist, I am going to kill you. So that is not dharma. Anyway, we are straying away from the topic. We don't want to discuss that now. So, kshetrajna, the implication of the same kshetrajna being present in all means that we have to recognize the divinity in all. We have to recognize. That person may or may not agree with this philosophy. That person came and said, I don't know Kshetrajna, it is not, nobody is present in me, I am here by myself. There is nothing that is there besides the body and the mind. He may say like that, that's his view. One thing we should not do in generally in Vedanta or especially in the matters of religion or any politics or anything, we should not try to convert anybody to our view. That everybody have their own opinion. You may or may not like that their opinion of reality. You may not agree, they may not agree with our opinion, but that differences will be there. So many people looking at some object, they all get different impressions. So that's how nature is. Anyway, that differences, we don't mind if there are differences. But to obliterate all differences and make everybody think the same way, that's how not going to work. That's a different matter. Kshetrajnam chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. In all the bodies, I am the indwelling spirit. Bhagavan is saying. It is very important. If you want me to point out one line in the Gita, which has the most implication to our lives, this is that line. Know me, Bhagavan is saying, know me to be the indwelling spirit in all the beings. Even in an ant crawling on the ground, this is the basis for ahimsa. Satya, Asteya, Aparigraha. Ahimsa, Satya, Asteya. These three basic cardinal rules, this is the basis. Why should I not cause himsa? Himsa means injury. Harm, injury, need not be only physical. We can create as much harm to somebody by words as we can do by physically, through physical means. Or by thoughts. I can damage my own personality very severely by thinking unhelpful, bad thoughts. So, all our actions have to take into consideration this idea that the same divine is present in all the beings. Why should I not steal somebody's property? Why should I not tell a lie to somebody? If I tell a lie to you, to whom am I lying? Bhagavan is sitting right in you. I am lying to him. If I take away your property, whose property I am taking? Bhagavan is sitting right in you. How can I do that one to anybody? I have to be kind and gentle and considerate and respectful towards everybody, because in every body the same divinity is present. If you don't like somebody, you don't have to become friendly with them. You can stay away from that person. You don't have to deal with that person. Anyway, we will study the practical implications in a little bit more detail later. Let's prove one more shloka. Now, lest somebody comes and tells you that I am superior to you, like that, this shloka that I am going to point out, we are going to study, tells you it is not so. Everybody is same. From this spiritual point of view, personality differences are there. Somebody IQ is 100, 150, somebody's IQ is only 75. Somebody has a very strong physical body, somebody is a weak physical body. Somebody's eyesight is 20 or better, somebody's eyesight, they have to have thick glasses. Also, in that respect, everybody is different. No two people are exactly alike. No two people are exactly alike physically. Everybody's physical body is different from everybody else's physical body. In some way, in many ways. We are not talking about that equality. Somebody is 6 feet tall, somebody is only 5 feet 4 inches tall. We are not talking physical equality. That way all personalities are different. But if you disregard the physical aspect of the personality, take the spiritual aspect, and everybody is same spiritually. Because same divinity is present in all. Same Bhagavan is present in all. He can't make a partiality and say, I am going to be present more in Brahmarupananda and less in somebody else. God will not do such a thing. He is present and it will equally to the same present, same extent in all. That shloka is 27. Make a note of that. Shloka 27 forms the basis for our behavior towards other beings, interpersonal relationships. Even if you don't agree with them or you don't like them for some other reason, but we should not be harsh and unkind to those, cause himsa to those people. So shloka 27. Samam sarveshu bhuteshu tishtantam parameshwaram vinashyasva vinashyantam yah pashyati sapashyati samam sarveshu bhuteshu tishtantam parameshwaram vinashyasva vinashyantam yah pashyati sapashyati. The Supreme Lord is present equally in all beings. That is the words, those are the words to be underlined. Bhagavan is saying all these things. It's not what I am saying or somebody else is saying. These are words of the Divine Lord. He is saying these words of the Scripture. He is present to the same extent in all. Therefore, we have to treat everybody just as we would like to be treated ourselves by other people. This is called the golden rule. The golden rule, in slightly various forms, is present in all the major religions. In Judaism it is there, in Christianity it is there, in Islam it is there, in Hinduism it is there, in other religions it is there. But it is not practiced all over the world with the same understanding. Rule is there in the script. Somewhere if you search in the scriptures you will find this rule. Atma upamyena sarvatra sukham va idiva dukkham samam pashiti arjuna sayogi paramamata. A yogi or a jnani or a bhakta should treat everybody atma upamyena, as if he is the same himself. As I want to be treated by you, I have to treat you. If I want you to show me respect and kindness, help me when I am in need. If I want people to help me when I am in need, if I want people to show me respect and be nice towards me, what I should do? I should help other people who are in need. I should be nice and gentle towards everybody else, including animals and plants and inanimate objects. That's the important point. We extend it not only people, we should be nice. We should be nice and gentle towards animals and plants, especially animals and plants. Because can we live without them? Supposing all the plants are not there, trees are not there, how can we live? They provide what we need most, namely oxygen. We are thoughtlessly killing the trees, the very source that from where our life-sustaining principle is coming, substance is coming, without thinking. Human life cannot exist on this planet without the simultaneous coexistence of animal life and plant life. Think about it. What worth thinking about? So we have to treat them as essential parts of this creation. You have to be gentle towards them, animals and plants. We should not torture animals. Fortunately, in a country like the United States, a civilized society, torturing animals is a punishable offense. You remember Michael Vick, that Atlanta, some football team, Falcons quarterback, I think he was. Now he is playing for Eagles. I don't know where he is playing. But what did he do? Lot of money comes. See, one thing that you can notice in especially sports celebrities, sports personalities, All of a sudden, there is an influx of worldwide fame and millions of dollars will pour into them. All of a sudden, overnight. And then, if they have the moral infrastructure in their personality, really with the sudden influx of fame and wealth, they manage it nicely. Use it for good purpose, enjoy and help other people. If they don't have the educational, moral background to deal with that sudden influx of power, fame and wealth, they lose control. You can see it in many personalities. Sometimes the people who win sudden lottery, millions of dollars, they also don't know how to deal with it. They're working as ordinary workers, making some small wage. All of a sudden he gets $300 million one night. Then how to deal with it? If you don't have the knowledge or background, you may end up losing everything and becoming a pauper. That's what happens to people. Mike Tyson is my favorite example. It's not his fault. I'm not blaming him. He just didn't have the educational, moral background. The infrastructure was not there in his personality. He grew up in the streets of New York or someplace. Street fighting. You can't blame him because he didn't have the opportunity to go to school and learn all the lessons. He didn't have. It's not his fault. The environment was like that. Now what happened? He was good in boxing. He became the youngest worldwide heavyweight boxing championship at the age of 21 or something, professional. In one night he made $21 million. Today $20 million is not a huge amount. But those days, 20, 30 years ago, it was a huge amount. In one night he made that money. And unfortunately he didn't have the educational, moral background, preparation to deal with that sudden influx of fame and sudden influx of enormous amount of wealth. So he lost control. Other people came and took advantage of the situation. All of a sudden many people became his friends and well-wishers and advisors, and he lost all the money. He lost all the money. Went to jail also. So, if the mind doesn't have the proper culture, educational, spiritual, moral education, then the person's life is going to suffer. So that is why this knowledge that I have to be kind and gentle and follow the basic moral rules of truthfulness, not stealing, ahimsa, satya, astaya, etc., because the same divinity is present in all the beings to the same extent. That information is what saves us, makes us decent human beings. Why we are decent towards each other? Because we respect each other, because we see the same divinity present in each other. This is what we should do. We should convey this information, this idea, this ideal to our next generation. We should tell our children, don't torture animals, cats and dogs, be kind to them. Don't kill trees unnecessarily because they provide the most essential thing, namely oxygen. And don't waste paper, food and other materials. A lot of these things are wasted because there is plenty. But this is not, all of it is not renewable resource. Once it is exhausted, it is exhausted. Especially don't waste time. We'll come to that topic later. So we have to convey this ideal of the presence of same divinity in all, and that ideal dictating our daily behavior and our values. Our values must be based upon the understanding that the same divine is present in all. That is if you ask me one basic message of Vedanta, I will say this one. Same divinity is present in all. That should dictate all our personality, behavior, our values, the way we treat each other, animals and plants and inanimate objects included. Why we should not put litter? In India, people don't have them, they throw everything everywhere. If you go to a Hindu temple, they take the prasad and the leaf plate on prasad, they will throw it right there in the temple, middle of the temple. Who is going to clean it? They don't have the All this is there in India, but they don't understand, they don't follow. On the streets they put litter. In this country, in that way we have to appreciate. You see, when you travel on the roadside, you see the sign, $300 fine for littering, they say. It's a good thing. If you put litter, you are making two mistakes. One is we are breaking the rule of this country where we live, we have chosen to live, so we can be punished, we will have to pay the fine. There is a deeper reason for not putting litter. What is that one? If I put litter on the roadside, supposing I am taking prasad from here, and then I am travelling by car, as soon as I finish eating in the car, I throw it outside the car window. Supposing I do that, I am making two mistakes. One is I am breaking the rule of this country. Second mistake I am making is I am dishonoring earth. Mother earth, where same consciousness is there as in me. Sarva kshetreshu mam kshetragamyati. God is present in the earth. In inanimate objects, some sacharacharam, savarajangamam. We read, earth also has two parts. The physical part, which we see and feel, we stand on that one, and the spiritual part in the earth. That's why we call it Matrabhumi. Mother Earth, Matrabhumi. It's really true. God is, earth has consciousness in it. You won't be able to see because it does not speak. It is speaking, but you don't understand its language. So we have to respect all of nature, not only human beings, animals and plants. You have to respect all of nature. We should not create lot of noise, creating noise pollution, because noise travels in air, and then air is one of the Panchabhutas. In it also there is consciousness. Vayudeva. Vayave idam namamaha. Agni we should not dishonor, because in Agni there is consciousness. Water we should not dishonor, because in water there is consciousness. These are listed in the 13th chapter. I am going to point out the shlokas. In the 5 elements, space, air, Agni, fire, water and earth. 5 elements, right? Pratibhaji Namaskar. In these 5 elements, same divinity is present to the same extent. They are all living conscious beings. So simply because earth does not speak, I should not throw litter on it and create lot of noise pollution, land pollution, water pollution, air pollution. I am dishonoring the presence of the divine in all those 5 elements. That's why we should not create environmental pollution, any kind of environmental pollution. Now here EPA is enforcing that rules, but in India nobody cares. The rules are there in the rules books, but who cares? They make a lot of noise. Ganesha festival, Durga Puja, all these 15 days, the loudspeaker blazes all night, music and this and that. People cannot sleep, old people, sick people cannot sleep in the neighborhood. Ganesha festival in Maharashtra, in South India, lot of noise, music all night. What about people who cannot sleep? They have to go to work tomorrow morning. Inconsiderate behavior. Inconsiderate behavior does not bode well, agree with the principle we are studying now. Same divinity is present in all. We have to be very sensitive about the impact of all our actions, small actions on other people, animals, plants and whole of nature. That is the implication of this idea. Kshetrajnam chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. Same divinity, Lord is present in all. Samam sarveshu bhuteshu tishtantam parameshwaram. 27th verse. Swami Vivekananda quoted that verse and said, be kind and gentle towards everybody, everything, not everybody alone, everything, because sarveshu bhuteshu samam tishtantam parameshwaram. Not more in some, less in others. You have to respect everybody, not only people who have more money or more knowledge, that we have to respect them. But even if a person does not have much money, does not have much education, is not good looking, or is poor, we still have to recognize and appreciate that person. In him, the body, mind are not in good condition. This kshetra problem. But kshetrajna, who is the kshetrajna in that person? Mam kshetrajnam vidhi. That idea should never be forgotten in our interpersonal transactions. You may not like the person, you may not agree with that person, but that person, in that person, same divinity is there to the same extent. Samam sarveshu bhuteshu tishtantam parameshwar. Better to disagree and separate than to stay in a relationship and create torture for the other person. It directly follows from the present, understanding the presence of God to the same extent in all the same being, in all the beings. Samam sarveshu bhuteshu tishtantam parameshwaram, that is the basic idea. Okay? Sarveshu bhuteshu, in all the beings, without any exception, samam tishtantam parameshwaram. Parameshwara is sitting to the same extent. Okay? That's the principal idea coming from the Shloka 27, chapter 13. Now, what is the implication of that? What we have been discussing is 632. Let us chant 632. Why we should be kind and gentle towards everybody, even if you don't like that person or agree with that person. You don't have to like everybody because they're all of different natures and some are disagreeable people. We don't have to like them, be friends with them, but we should not hate them. Unfortunately, they don't know that God is present in them. That is our idea. We appreciate that. But everybody doesn't agree, may not agree with us. That's a different matter. Difference of opinion are bound to be there. But let us see 632. Atmopamyena sarvatra
Atmopamyena sarvatra
samam pashyati yorjuna Sukham va yadi va dukkham Sayogi paramo mataha Atmopamyena sarvatra Samam pashyati yorjuna Sukham va yadi va dukkham Sayogi paramo mataha Read. He who sees alike in pleasure and pain, Sukham va yadi va dukkham, in all beings. If something causes me pain, the same thing will cause you pain also. So I should not have two standards, one for me, one for you. So how I want to be treated, I must treat you all in the same way. Namely, if I want people to be nice to me, helpful to me when I need help, kind and gentle towards me, not lie to me, then I should do exactly the same thing towards everybody else I come across. The idea is this is called the golden rule. This idea, how do you know that this is the right idea? Samam sarveshu bhuteshu tishtantam parameshwaram, 1327. Because the Lord is present to the same extent in all the beings. Sarveshu bhuteshu samam tishtantam parameshwaram. That samam is the key word. Swami Vivekananda quoted this specifically this verse in lecture. This is the basis for all human relationship, not only interpersonal relationship with other people, it has to be like this, but relationship with inanimate objects also, with animals and plants also, with nature also, must be governed by the same principle. Not putting litter, not making a lot of noise. In some temples, when you go to the temple, there's a heap of shoes, confusing heap of shoes. They don't keep it side by side. In Gurudwaras, they do it nicely. In churches, they don't remove the shoes, there's no problem. But in Gurudwaras, that's their culture. It's not bad because they keep it so clean. Never came before. So that's a different culture. We are not commenting on that. But in Gurudwara, if you go, there are volunteers. They do Kar Seva. If you go to any Gurudwara, you will see all the shoes are nicely organized. Downstairs it is somewhat organized, their shelves are there, but everything is everywhere. To look for my shoe, I put the other shoes aside and everything becomes more confusing people. So, that small things like that, high implication. This idea has implication for every small act that I do. Not only towards human beings, animals, plants, and inanimate objects and nature. You should tell children to gently close the door when they leave the room. They slam the door. Sometimes some places where I go, some families, they slam the door and it causes discomfort. Because when you do puja, we specifically offer flower to the door. Dvara Devatabhyo Namaha, like this we say. Right? Ramanujda, Om Dvarat Ete Ganda Pushpe Dvara Devatabhyo Namaha. Right? When you do puja, ritualistic puja, you take some flower, smear it with sandal paste, Ganda Pushpa, offer it to the door, because door is an important part of this building. Without door, how can the building function? Not only door, walls, floor, sky, air, space, water, trees, other people, animals, plants, in all. Sarveshu bhuteshu samam tishtantam parameshwaram. That idea of drilling is meant for me also. I am the beneficiary of this class. If you think you are benefiting, but I benefit more. That idea should be ingrained in our thinking, especially in our relationship with other human beings, with animals and plants and things, and work. Work also. Don't exclude work. All work I do affects somebody. Right? Supposing I am working alone, solo. There is no such thing as solo work, because even if the doctor has a solo practice, patients are affected by his work. Really not solo, because how can he practice unless there are patients? So there is no solo anymore. Solo means only one person. Only one person is things like breathing, etc. If I don't breathe properly, it will affect me. But any other work that I do affects other people. So, if I am considerate towards other people, I should examine the impact of my work on other people. So, work becomes important. These great sages, Mahatmas and saints in all cultures, they practice unconditional love, universal love, because this is the basis. To them there is no mama para, I am mama paro veti, iti alpanag, iti gananatu alpachetasam. Udara Charitanam to Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. All for the Udara Charita means large-hearted people who don't have this narrow-minded view of life. Whole world is their family. Vasudha means the earth. Vasudha eva kutumbakam. Vasudhaiva kutumbakam. But other ordinary people who don't have the large view, narrow-minded people, alpachetasam ganana, I am mama parova iti. Oh, he is my person, I should show a special favor. Or he is somebody whom I don't know, from some other country, from some other state, speaks some other language, I don't have to be nice to him. That is alpachetasam ganana. That is the way narrow-minded people think. Udharacharitanam to of large-hearted people who have the broader view that all are same, children of God, same divinity is present in all. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, whole world is a family. That is why Sharada Devi treated Amza with so much kindness. To a mother, all children are same. One child may be a president, another child may be a servant, but a mother does not make any distinction. To her, all are her children. All are her parts. Same divinity presents in all, whether it is Namza, there is Swami Sharadananda, Sarveshu Bhuteshu Samam Tishtantam Parameshwaram. That she knew, she saw. Kshetra is different. Amza's Kshetra is so different. My Kshetra means basically mind, body. And Swami Sharadananda's mind is so superior, so pure, so different. Kshetras are different. But what is common to these two personalities? Same Kshetrajna, right? And who is that Kshetrajna? Kshetrajnam chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. The same divinity is present. Samam sarveshu bhuteshu tishtantam parameshwar. To the same extent, not more in Sharadam Asam, not less in Amzad. That's why great saints who have this vision, they treat everybody with equal love. So we study the implications of this idea that same divinity is present in all to the same extent. That is the main part of 13th chapter. The rest are details. Kshetra is made up of 24 parts and all those things are listed, and those things we can study. But this is the main point in 13th chapter.